Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that's, well, it's a huge part of life, but it can also be super confusing. I'm talking about friendship. We're going to break down what makes a real friend, the kind who really has your back, and how to spot the ones who might be pulling you down, even if they don't always mean to. So, have you ever hung out with a friend and when you leave, you just feel drained or anxious or maybe just kind of weird and you can't really explain why? Yeah. If that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. Those feelings are totally real, and today we're going to figure out what's behind them. And for the parents who are tuning in, maybe because you're worried about your kid, you're in exactly the right place. This explainer is for both of you. We want to give everyone the tools and the words to talk about this stuff because, it can be really tough. Okay, so we're going to use a word here, manipulation. And I know it can sound pretty intense, maybe even a little scary, but don't worry, this isn't about making anyone feel bad. Think of what we're doing here as just handing you a map. It's to help you find your way so you don't feel lost in these friendships. So, what even is it? It's actually pretty simple when you break it down. Manipulation is just when someone uses your feelings, your guilt, your kindness, your loyalty, to get something they want. The reason it's so confusing is that on the surface, it can look a lot like a really close friendship. And look, for the parents out there, it's important to know this is super common. A lot of times, the friend doing this doesn't even realize it, but that still doesn't make it okay. The real difference, the thing you can always trust, is how it makes you feel. A real friendship feels safe. Manipulation? It just makes you feel anxious and on edge all the time. So, how do you actually spot this stuff in the wild? What does it sound like in a real conversation? Okay, let's get into it. We're going to look at some of the most common things you might hear. Ever heard this? You are literally my favorite person in the whole world. Or maybe something like, I've never met anyone like you, or you're the only one who understands me, especially when you've only known them for like a few weeks. Yeah, we call this the hook. And let's be real, it feels incredible at first, right? It gives you this huge rush of feeling special. But here's the thing. Real, solid friendships, they take time. They grow as you actually get to know each other, the good and the messy parts. When someone lays it on that thick, that fast, it's often a way to get you hooked on how they make you feel. Ah, this one. We all know it. Fine, go hang out with them instead of me. It's the classic guilt trip, and it just lands with this heavy thud in your stomach, making you feel like their happiness is suddenly your job. Parents, this is a really important one. It's so subtle, but it's a huge power move. It flips the whole script. All of a sudden, your teen isn't just a friend anymore. They're the emotional manager for this other person. And they start making decisions not based on what they want, but based on trying to stop their friend from getting mad or sad. So, this leads to probably the most powerful question you can ask yourself. Next time you're about to do something for this friend, just pause for a second and ask, am I doing this because I genuinely want to, or am I doing it because I'm scared of how they'll react if I don't? If the honest answer is fear, that right there is a huge red flag. And then there's this one. After some big, confusing drama, they hit you with, I was just testing you, or it was a test to see if I could trust you. It can honestly make your head spin trying to figure out what just happened. This is what we call a loyalty test, and it basically turns your friendship into a performance. You feel like you're always on stage, trying to pass these secret tests you didn't even sign up for. But think about it. Real loyalty isn't about passing some dramatic, made-up test. It's built day by day just by being there for each other. Okay, this next one is a biggie. A really clear sign that something's not right. It's when a friend starts trying to control your other friendships, saying things like, I don't like her, or you shouldn't hang out with him. And, this is a really serious warning sign. A friend who tries to cut you off from other people in your life, even your family, that's not about care, that's about control. And just remember this one simple rule. Healthy friendships are supposed to add to your life. They make your world bigger, not smaller. So when you put it all side by side, it becomes pretty clear, right? On one side, you've got real friendship. It's calm, it's accepting. On the other, you have manipulation. It's anxious, it's jealous, it's just so much drama. It really all goes back to that gut feeling we talked about at the beginning. It's the difference between feeling safe versus feeling like you're always walking on eggshells. Okay, so spotting this stuff is step one. But step two is where the real power is. It's about what you do next. So let's talk about the path forward and how to set boundaries that actually work. So when you get that guilt trip, fine, go hang out with them. Here's a script you can literally use. You're not fighting, you're not apologizing, you're just calmly stating a fact. I care about our friendship, and I also need other friendships. See how that works? It's calm, it's true, and it ends the argument right there.
And what about the friend who blows up your phone with question marks if you don't answer in 2 seconds? You don't have to make up excuses. You can just say, I'll respond when I'm free. I can't always be available right away. That's not rude. It's just you setting a boundary to protect your own peace.
And here it is, parents. This is the real test. It's not about how perfectly your keen says no. It's all about how the friend reacts to it. Look, a true friend might be a little bummed, and that's okay, but if they punish you for it or have a total meltdown, well, that reaction tells you everything you need to know. All right, that brings us to the last and honestly the most important part. We've talked a lot about the red flags. Now let's talk about what you should actually be looking for. What are the green flags? Because this isn't some impossible dream. This is the standard. This is what you deserve. A healthy friendship, it's someone who's actually genuinely psyched for you when you win. It's someone who hears your no and respects it, no questions asked. They're consistent, the same person to your face as they are behind your back. If there's a problem, they come to you, they don't gossip about you. And really, it's simple. They just make you feel better about yourself. I want you to really hear this next part. Let it sink in. You do not have to earn friendship. You don't have to perform for it. You don't have to pass their little tests. You should never, ever have to apologize for who you are or who else you're friends with. You just deserve kindness. So, we'll leave you with this to think about. Whether this is for you or for a parent trying to help, what's one small step you can take today to honor what you deserve in a friendship? Maybe it's just letting a text sit for an hour. Maybe it's celebrating a real friend's win. Or maybe it's just quietly reminding yourself what a good friend really feels like. Thanks for hanging out with us for this explainer.